Hello my fellow crowlings, this is Icky Mickey here, back at it again with another video. As you can tell, this is going to be something completely different than what I usually do, and I want to take the opportunity to properly introduce a new series I'm doing called Demo Derby, where I sit back and play demos for games that have either been on my radar or for stuff that has yet to come out. Now, as per my lineage, the first game we'll be looking at is Crow Country, a game released on May 9th, 2024 by SFB Games on Steam. Allow me to read you the description. The year is 1990. It's been 2 years since the mysterious disappearance of Edward Crow and the abrupt closure of his theme park, Crow Country. But your arrival has broken the silence, Mara Forest. If you want answers, you'll have to venture deep into the darkness of Crow Country to find them. Ooh, spoochy. As you open the game, you'll see that you play Mara Forest, a hard-boiled detective who is on the disappearance case of Edward Crow and trying to find the cause of the mishappenings that has been going on at his theme park. Mara Forest gave me strong vibes of Jill Valentine, as she's a very competent woman and she seems very kick-ass, and she has a little cunty bob while doing the whole thing, so work, honestly. The whole game takes inspiration and pays homage to Resident Evil as a whole, and whether if you've played the games or seen anybody play it, I mean, at this point, if you're unfamiliar with Resident Evil and if you've been part of the gaming community to any degree, I really can't help you there. It's pretty fundamental. It's inspired a lot of things. So many games are what they are because of Resident Evil. Shout out to my boy Leon S. Kennedy. He's a real one. Love him. Kiss him. Maybe a little tongue. Okay, that is not where this is going. Yikes. Anyway, so Crow Country does put me in mind a lot of the first Resident Evil. While there is a item management system, a lot of it has to deal with ammunition rather than other things you find, like the grenades, medical supplies, antidotes, that sort of thing. They seem to stack up on top of each other rather than you having to go in your suitcase and rearrange things to make everything fit and deciding whether or not you have to leave a certain object behind or not. And like Resident Evil, your health bar is portrayed as a heart monitor, and you have to keep a close eye on it whether or not Mara is fine, she's injured, so on and so forth. It changes color. It'll have her limping around while clutching her side as blood gets on her clothing. Again, very Resident Evil-esque, but it's still fine. I mean, name a game that isn't inspired or pays homage to Resident Evil in some degree at this day and age, especially when it comes to the horror genre. There's nothing wrong with that. Resident Evil is incredible as a whole. I know there are some games that are more questionable than others, but this is not a Resident Evil video. That could be something else on its own time, I guess. Crow Country is very, very pretty. You could tell it took a lot of inspo from early PlayStation games with the low-res, low-poly art style, the deep colors, usually focusing on yellow and green overtones with pops of red, and the black being very strong. While the setting is spooky, some of it is actually weirdly cozy, namely the save rooms. You actually have to save your game by going up to fireplaces, and the juxtaposition of it really does pull your eye to it. It's very fascinating that they chose that route instead of the usual, writing your stuff down in a journal or using a typewriter or something along those lines. I guess I could give a content warning about the blood and guts in this game, but since it is such a low-res style, you don't really have to worry about the distinct details of nasty stuff. But I will go out and say if that sort of thing makes you squeamish, maybe, just keep an eye on things or just skip this video. That's fine. There's no problem with it. So this demo doesn't let you get very far. It is a demo after all, but I will say compared to other demos I've played, it doesn't really let you do much. You do solve some puzzles and you do have to search around, say, for keys or codes and whatnot. But other than that, you can't get very far, or the puzzles you do solve, you still have to do other parts to it to fully complete it. So you can't figure out certain things, we'll say that. But as you progress further in, you discover more enemies, and this is where that content warning comes in. Some of them are these piles of goo. They're like fleshy masses. They're just kind of like squirming along the ground. Just yes, that is exactly what they sound like. You could put that on repeat. I do not care. Others are, I'm gonna say, fleshy, maybe skinned people, because you'll actually see a random dude who wasn't there before. I have no idea how he even got in the park, but he's kind of wiggling and transforming into this zombie creature, I guess we can refer them to. You could tell they're trying to be grotesque. Their flesh is out, maybe muscle is showing, bloody, just nasty. And then others have their features exaggerated or more hyperbolic, as the legs and arms are stretched out, the heads are small, the bodies are big. As you progress further, obviously the monsters are going to be harder, they're going to be more gross, I guess we can say, at least from what I could tell from the trailers. As you go around the map, you'll find tips and tricks as to deal with these, saying, oh, you can interact with the monsters and get rid of them, but you don't have to. But you do risk the chance of encountering them later on, and it can make traveling around from area to area harder. And I'll be for real right now. I didn't particularly care for the controls in this. While I was using a Xbox controller, I'm going to blame it on the fact that I haven't played a shoot 'em up or anything of that sort for a hot minute. Lately, I've been replaying Fields of Mystria, so if you had to pull out a gun or any type of weapon in that, besides your sword, it would be such a significant difference. That's actually funny to think about right now. But it's weird because they make you use the RB button to aim rather than the RT, which is like the bumper. And you had to use B to shoot. And I've never played a game that used those controls to shoot a gun. Granted, it would have been easier using a mouse and the WASD keys. Most likely, yeah. It'd be like, I can't tell if it's because I haven't played a game in so long of that sort or because of the weird controls, but I found it kind of hard to aim at some of the monsters, namely the big peanut looking dude on the daddy long legs. It was like, okay, where are my crosshairs? I have to use my left joystick to get to it. I didn't like it. And I wasn't a fan of the camera. As soon as you aim, it swaps the camera around. And you're like, oh shit, I'm not used to that. But again, it's probably also because I haven't played anything similar to this in such a minute that I was a little out of sorts. But I think we've all been there. We've all done that. Think of it like if you were playing Skyrim and then swap to Fallout and you're like, oh hey, yeah. Things aren't the same. They're a bit different. I will say, though, this demo was very, very intriguing. From what little story was revealed and from what little areas I could really explore, I could see why it has such a high rating on Steam. It feels familiar yet different at the same time, which I guess is what people really like about games like this. Because like I said, it's very reminiscent of Resident Evil, which is popular for a reason. I mean, come on, it's Resident Evil for crying out loud. But it's different enough to be like, oh, I haven't played anything like this. And personally, I love games that try to emulate the feel of older style games from previous generations. And I love me some good pixel graphics or low res, low poly, there's something welcoming about simplified graphics and developers not being too concerned about making things too realistic, we'll say, like how some games, like, oh, they have to have individual pores or you have to see fingerprints on stuff. Like, that in itself is cool because we could see how technology has progressed in such a short amount of time. But I don't think the average gamer is looking for such details. And if you are, I mean, that's fine, each to their own. But there's something so visually appealing that brings you into this sort of thing. And I think Crow Country really does nail it on the head. I mean, just the trailers and pictures I saw on Steam alone were like, whoa, this looks super cool. I do like the bird aspect of everything, like the animatronics and different figurines, I guess you could say, around the park are different birds or different bird noises. I like birds. I am a bird. I mean, it's Crow Country. How can I not be interested in such a thing? While I did enjoy the demo for this, I don't particularly know if I will purchase it. But again, this is why we have demos. That's why they create demos, which, can we just take a moment and appreciate demos? Oh my gosh, they're so fantastic. Like, whoever came up with the idea of doing demos is a genius. I think the very first demo I've ever played was give me a second, the Lego Indiana Jones for Xbox 360. And I beat the absolute shit out of that demo. Oh my gosh. I remember playing with my sister. It was fantastic. I mean, we eventually got the whole game, and I love Lego games, especially the early ones. They were such a stepping stone as to who I am today. Lego Star Wars, the complete saga, was actually the first video game I've ever played, at least on a console. But that's a different story for a different day. As for Crow Country, I don't think I will purchase it. I might in the future, but I have a bad habit of not playing games I already have, especially when Steam has their big sales going on, like right now. And I purchase stuff, and like I need to get through things I have yet to play. This is not good. If you have this problem, let me know, because it is an issue. It's a very big issue. I love games. I can't, and I love a good deal, but God, I love games so much. But anyway, if any of you have played this game and enjoyed it, let me know what your thoughts are about this. Would you play it? Have you played it? If there's any other demos you want me to check out, go right ahead, because I do enjoy playing demos. And I do like this more casual content that I can use to fill my channel while I work on bigger things or try to get through a grueling game, like right now, because I am actually struggling, but I will finish it. I swear, I promise. Please just be patient with me. Also, let me know if you would rather have a live reaction to these demos rather than me talking about stuff after the fact, because I do have another demo I played that I'm going to do a video about, and the way I was squealing like a fangirl over some of this stuff, I think would be entertaining for some people. I'm not sure. But yeah, let me know. Whether or not I have my other longer video up before the end of the year, I don't know. I am planning on trying to get it up by then. I hope so anyway. But if I do not, I wish all of you a happy holiday, regardless of what you celebrate. A happy new year. I really appreciate you guys sticking around and watching this, and for the continued support for this newborn channel. If you have any comments about this game, or again, like I said, any recommendations for other games or just any demos, feel free to let me know. Or if you just want to chit chat in the comments, go right ahead. But please keep it respectful. Like, guys, it's not that hard. Anyway, until next time, this is Icky Mickey. Goodbye.